Have you ever looked at a piece of art and wondered what was inside the mind of the artist when they made it? Tom's small sculptures extract that sense of wonder. Some of Tom's stone carvings invite you to sit and relax. Some defy gravity. Some take you to other worlds. All of them make you stop and think. Tom invited Washington Rock to check out his workshop and learn more about his process for sculpting stone. This is the Washington Rock Show. Tom's workshop is located in Friday Harbor on San Juan Island. It's a popular summer getaway in Washington State. It's a 20-minute drive from the main town center to Tom's workshop on Katy Mountain. A few boulder benches are currently in the works.
It seemed like natural to keep taking that back, but I just thought that added some interest.
One bench, called the cave, is in the beginning stages of having the shape formed. When it comes to choosing a design, Tom refers to a famous quote by Michelangelo. Every block of stone has a statue inside it, and it is the task of the sculptor to discover it.
I'm letting the rock help me make a lot of the choices. It's not really even that mystical. It's just you've got to have this ability to spatially visualize and see into the stone.
He's inspired by Pacific Northwest Native American art forms, which you can see reflected in the curves of the cave. He cuts into the stone with an electric saw, then chips away at the cuts with a pneumatic air hammer. On the other stone seat, he's grinding down the rough edges to prepare for polishing. Nearby, a stone bird bath just needs a little more polishing before it's done. Tom starts every polishing project with a coarse grit and slowly works up to finer grits. The finer the grit he uses, the smoother and glossier the stone becomes. He uses a blue pencil to mark the contour of the piece, which helps him track the areas that need to be refined. Tom sometimes uses different levels of polishing throughout a piece to create variations in how the light reflects off the piece.
It's really what's the best surface for the overall design and bringing out the color of the rock. Beginners actually want to polish everything to 3000. It's like, but then you start backing off and saying, well, it'd be interesting if this was at like 400 and this is at 800 or 3000, and then you get a contrast. And you can use that to enhance how you see the shapes. A full polish actually is almost too much light coming back at you, and you stop seeing the shape and into the stone. Like, see the difference?
How does Tom know when he's done?
I have to meet my own standard. It's like any craft, I want a certain quality on this surface so that it refracts light a certain way. That's the whole process. You work it and then you study it for scratch marks. It's pretty good. See, this has already got this really interesting grain, but I'm looking for weak spots that I need to go back over.
Whether the pieces are private or public art commissions, the goal is the same. He wants them to be loved. A granite boulder from Kapowsin Quarry is Tom's newest art medium. It weighs 15,000 pounds, Tom's largest piece yet. A client loved Tom's bench next to the Friday Harbor movie theater and commissioned a similar design. So Tom traveled to quarries throughout the state to find granite boulders for the project. Visiting Kapowsin Quarry took Tom back to why he started carving stone in the first place.
The draw for stone carvers, that they're compelled to try to bring a stone to life, and there's a certain level of fighting and physicality to get there. Getting down in that pit where they were breaking up that basalt bedrock, it's so primal. These guys have to mine and break it out, and they're really into it and moving stone. And if you aren't going to love the stone, you probably aren't going to love the carving. Nice stone.
The sculpted boulder will be at Tom's studio tour in June 2023.
My weird story is a life-changing moment. As a contractor getting the diamond blade, I was living in the Olympic Mountains caretaking, and I was just started cutting stone that I was pulling off the riverbeds using old silicon carbide, slow. And the contractor said, "Why don't you take this home and test it out?" And it's within half an hour of cutting, it's like my life radically changed. It's like, okay, I can be a stone carver. It was like 2 years after I got out of college. I got out of college, met a guy with 40 acres in the Olympic Mountains, and he needed a caretaker. Moved up there, started carving the cedar from the woods and the stone from the rivers. And I hadn't learned stone carving. I was self-taught. And so I was just starting to figure it out. And then that diamond blade was like, I can do that. I like stone cutting, and that's the thing. I've been doing it for 30 years, and I still am fascinated by the fact that it can move through the rock.